Back with another episode of Circle of Trades. I'm Todd Studer, and today, no, Travis did not suddenly get younger. This is his son, Hayden Waldstein. How are you this morning, sir?
It's good. Another day living the dream, as they like to go through and say.
Well, that's true, but also, in a way, I mean, you kind of are because, I mean, people and that are about in your age bracket, there's not a lot of them that have their own company that is serving as a contractor, a subcontractor, or wherever that you are at with that with Waldstein Plumbing, and you have really achieved a lot in a short amount of time. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to say congratulations and well done on that, sir.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, most of it I couldn't do by myself. I mean, a lot of the success, comes with the help of office staff, employees, uh, my dad, and then some different people as mentors. I mean, if you think you can do it all yourself, you're wrong. I mean, it takes more than just one person to make a dream like this come to fruition.
Let's talk about as you grew up in the trades, essentially, from a very young age, that you were helping out with air serve heating and air conditioning and exposed to a lot of different areas and also branching out and doing a few things on your own in the meantime. But what was that process like that led to where you're at now? Because your base is, this is how you were raised in order to go into these kind of fields.
Oh, it started out. I got put with all the jobs that the installers didn't want to do. So I was with Kelly and guys. So it was going through wrapping the ductwork with insulation, using duct seal, getting up in the attics or the tight crawl spaces. So, I mean, for a lot of years, I did all the stuff that the other journeymen and apprentices and stuff that he had didn't want to do. That's what I got stuck doing with for a lot of years.
But talk about what it means to have that knowledge, though, because even though you may not be doing that now, you have a very good understanding about all of this different steps that go into that. You're talking, this is stuff that other people don't want to do, but yet it's still necessary. It has to be done.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the job. I don't care if it's plumbing, electrical, HVAC, office job. Every single job's got a portion of it that you don't want to go through and do. And everyone has their preference. And I mean, call it for what it is. I mean, it's a necessary evil as part of the industry. I mean, a lot of times for plumbers, they don't like to go through and do drain cleaning. There's people that don't consider drain cleaning plumbing. So it really just depends who you talk to. They consider different facets. I mean, HVAC, it's going through if you have to deal with like asbestos insulation or if you have to go through and wrap ductwork with insulation. No one likes doing it, but it's part of the job to go through and do it. And I mean, over time, I mean, if you're going to be in the industry, you have to know at least some portion how to do it, what it looks like to be done correctly, what it looks like to not be done correctly if you're going to be part of this industry.
How far back does your idea and your dream of having a plumbing company go? Because as we talked about, you grew up in HVAC. So when did that start to feel like that was the route you wanted to go?
There was just a need for it. I mean, we were getting a lot more calls for it. We were already heavy in the hydronics and water heaters and water softeners uh, for several years, and we were just getting more and more phone calls for, can you do this in plumbing? Can you do this in plumbing? And I dealt a lot with diesel power generation, heat and air conditioning, and water purification while I was in the Marine Corps. I mean, I learned a lot of good stuff, especially on the water purification side. Just my time out in Japan and stuff like that, working with the LIPS and the TWIP systems that the Marine Corps has. It made me especially want to get more into the water filtration side of it. Um, but yeah, as far as that, I mean, there's definitely different parts to it. I mean, I saw a need in the industry and I mean, a need in the area and decided that, well, I mean, we need to go through and do it. Looking back at it now, I probably wish we would have started about 3 or 4 years sooner. But I mean, I mean, that's behind us now. Just got to keep moving forward.
How how different is it as now you are in the middle of it and you are actively running the business and getting the work done, versus when you were just had the idea that you wanted to get into that? Is there a difference between those two things? I mean, are you being surprised by anything, or is everything kind of just the way you thought it would be?
I know there's a big difference between working in and working on the business. When you're working in the business, it's a lot more hands on versus when you're going through and running it, you're working on the business. I mean, the one part I hate about owning a business is all the paperwork involved with it. If I didn't have to do the paperwork, it wouldn't be a problem. But it
Yeah,
just drives me nuts sitting at a desk all day. But it's
there
necessary even on the technician side. There's
there
still
are a lot of things that, regardless of what the business is, that are the same. I'm guessing that, with I have a media business, you have a plumbing business, but I'm guessing when it comes to the business side, there's a lot of commonalities there that
yeah.
we all have to do it, and that is, I believe, what can really set apart a business from, okay, you have a job versus you have a business, and transitioning yourself from actual hands-on all the time to, obviously, the company's still fairly new, so there's a lot of times you have to be on the job sites, you have to be doing some of those things because you haven't had time to grow into that yet, but eventually it's going to be less and less, I would imagine.
Unfortunately, I mean, I'll call it for it is. I'd much rather be hands on doing the work than sitting in the office. But at the end of the day, I mean, if I'm hands on in the field every single day, it just makes it tough to grow because I have to be going out talking to customers, doing estimates, quoting stuff to ensure that the journeyman and the apprentice and the drain cleaner that we have on staff keep them fed, keep them going through and working, making sure they at least get their 40 and everything else. And I mean, that all takes time. It's it's work in the field, but it's a different kind of work, if that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yes, and as well, where are you at right now? How many people do you have on staff?
I have two journeymen, two apprentices, and a drain cleaner, and we're currently looking for a new customer service representative for the front end in the office that we're going through and looking for right now to kind of answer the phones and do some outbound calling and stuff like that.
That's a huge responsibility. That and have you? I'm trying to imagine what it feels like as that staff continues to grow. That the sense of responsibility that everything that you do and everything that you do with this business is now supporting not just your family, but all of these other families too.
Yeah, no, I go through and feel it, and that's why I go through and they go through and ask, well, why do we have to do X, Y, and Z? It's like, well, this is part of the job. This is what has to get done. So we can go through and get paid because call it for what it is. At the end of the day, if the business doesn't make money, the employees don't make money. So business has to make money if you want to go through and have a paycheck. It's one of those kind of important little details when you go into business because it doesn't run on fairy tales and fairy dust. I mean, you could have money in the bank, otherwise
Right.
that math
That's
doesn't work.
yeah, that's very true. What have you done to with different types of marketing for something like this? I know that there are people who have been thinking about maybe starting a business, and that's a big hurdle. Is how do you get the word out about what it is that you're doing? What kind of processes have you gone through with that?
A lot of stuff is word of mouth, local social media, stuff like that. I mean, I'll call it for what it is. I mean, there's so many different avenues to go through with marketing. You could throw a lot of good money at bad, and you could spend not that much money and get a ton of calls from it. It's kind of been a trial and error. Like, well, we spent a lot of money on this and that didn't work. We got a fancy poster out of it, but that's about it. And so, I mean, it's one of those deals, it's trial and error. Every business has its own niche. They'll have the specific clientele that they market to. And um, we go through and try to market that clientele as best as possible as far as just making sure the word gets out there for this is what our products and services are and everything else. And it's just kind of a trial and error right now. I mean, eventually we'll go through, I'm sure we'll have it down to a T, but I mean, we're just uh, this month we're 1 year and 1 month in uh, having the Waldstein plumbing fully open on there. I mean, there was some paperwork stuff that it technically started sooner, but I mean, when we're actually doing business, I mean, the business is barely just a year old. So I mean, it takes time to go through and get those processes and procedures and everything established and put in place for the business to be fully functional.
This has been your first full winter in the Midwest in business. You got started in the winter last time, but you were nearing the end and getting close to spring just as you were starting to get your feet under you with it. Having gone through that now, how did it go? Being in the plumbing industry and wintertime, it's a different kind of beast, isn't it?
I mean, there's some ups and downs. I mean, depending on the weather. I mean, you got frozen pipes. Um, People's sewers still get backed up in the wintertime. So, I mean, you're digging with frost or um, trying to dig through frost and dig out septic tanks and do laterals and stuff like that. I mean, you can do it. It's just hard on people and equipment and everything else. I mean, and then also got to take account. I mean, we do have an on-call rotation, but take into account people's families and time off and everything else. I mean, don't want to go through and run them ragged where they're working 50, 60 hours a week.
And that is something that you do have to take into consideration. And you talked about the on call part that if someone is having an emergency, they're not interested in hearing, well, we can get to you at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Because, if the bathroom's not working and something has happened in there, they kind of need it. So, how have you worked out is it just, uh, like a simple rotation with everybody going through and everybody knows when, okay, I'm on call during this time?
Yeah, it's go through. I mean, we have it broke out. So it's once a month and then one night during the week. I mean, if there's a real big emergency when it comes down to it, for the most part, a lot of the if it's a major issue where there's like a water damage situation like that, I mean, go out, shut the water off, see what it's all going to take. I mean, if it's going to be an 8 hour repair, probably just not going to start it till the next morning. I mean, get the damage stopped and then get a plan of attack to start for the next day. I mean, some repairs you can go through and do, but I mean, if it's going to be an extensive repair on there, I mean, it's probably not going to get done in the same day. And it's just really setting that expectation with the customer for what's going to go through and happen. I mean, call it for it is everyone has their own definition of an emergency. I mean, we get people that call us that their kitchen faucets dripping at 11 o'clock at night. Well, your kitchen faucet dripping at 11 o'clock at night may not seem like an emergency to some people, but some people think it's an emergency and they want to go through and get it taken care of right away. So,
Well, and that makes sense, and that's the part of it too. Is that you're working a lot of times in people's homes. This is where they want to be able to relax and have everything just so. And I know that uh, being in the trades, it's important to respect that and understand that this is more than just a job site. You're dealing with the people, and all of their memories are all located here.
yeah. Well, and that's the problem with sewer and water. Like, when there's major issues with that, because I mean, what may not seem like a big deal to someone that does it all the time. I mean, being a homeowner, I mean, a lot of people have never had to deal with, all right, sewage backing up in their house or water pipes bursting, their house flooding, stuff like that. A lot of times that's a really traumatic experience for people, especially you start getting stuff that gets damaged and ruined and everything else. I mean, it could be traumatizing to some people, but I mean, thankfully that's what insurance is for. So go through, get taken care of. Hopefully there's policies that cover it. Some people get lucky, some people get unlucky, and I mean, it is what it is.
How is it having your dad as a resource, knowing that listen, he's in a different industry and he helps out on the plumbing side, but having him as that resource that has walked a lot of these paths before. Talk about that a little bit.
Uh, he goes through. I mean, he's got a wealth of knowledge both on the plumbing and the HVAC side. I mean, he's been in the trade for I think over 30 years now. So I mean, he's done just a little bit of everything, whether it's small residential to commercial industrial. And so I mean, he's a good wealth of knowledge to have. I mean, over the last 15, 16 years that he's had air serv and everything else, I mean, he's tried a lot of the different stuff. So I mean, kind of helps some when looking at going through and investing, or not investing, but yeah, investing like marketing and some of these different avenues and stuff. A lot of them he's already tried it, so he's like, yeah, I wouldn't waste my money here if I were you. So I mean, gives me pointers as far as that, and then definitely real big, which is nice as far as the permits and inspections and the processes. Having that all set up to make the permits and inspections process a lot easier, because I mean that's part of what we do. I mean, every job that we do that's permitted on there, we got to get on the office that's her job is to go through, pull the permit before the job starts, so that way we're good to go on the project and we don't have anything to worry about, and then schedule up the following inspections once it's done. So I mean, it's nice that he's got that process put into place, whether it's for HVAC or plumbing. That way, we don't have to worry about it. Everything's just kind of a well-oiled machine. Some of the other different processes and procedures that he's put into place over the years have definitely helped on there. Gives me a baseline of, all right, well, this is what he has set up for the HVAC side. This is kind of the baseline of where we need to get to eventually. So, I mean, a little bit of a blueprint to look at, if that makes sense.
It does, and we've talked with Travis many times on this program that, and it's something that everybody in the trades deals with, is being able to get the staff that you need, because there's such a the need is a lot for to have the staff is a lot higher than the pool that you're drawing from. There's just not as many people in the trades. How has it been for you handling that end of it and getting the right people in the right places?
It just takes time. I mean, we're in the process of building our in-house training lab at our shop here in Council Bluffs that will have stuff for both hydronic heating and heat and air conditioning. So hopefully here, what we can do is we get a couple different trainers. Hopefully, what we can do in the next year or so, what I'd like to have happen is we could take an 18, 19-year-old kid directly off the street with no experience, no bad habits or anything like that, and teach them directly in house with an approved apprenticeship program for the state. And then we can go through and craft and mold new apprentices how we want them, how we do things, instead of some of the different bad habits and stuff people can get, or if there's an opportunity to go through and bring in some different vendors, stuff like that, to increase the knowledge as a whole. Because I mean, it's one of those deals. I mean, the trades are no different than any other industry, whether it's tech or anything else. You're either learning or you're dying. If you don't evolve to the equipment and the changes to the industry here in 3 to 5 years, I mean, you'll be out of everything that's prevalent. I mean, the EPA and the government were pushing $2,000 federal tax credits and rebates for heat pump water heaters. Most people don't even know a heat pump water heater exists, but the federal government's willing to give you $2,000 back. Same with higher energy efficiency or Energy Star houses requiring 16 SEER and above heat pumps, trying to do everything, make it go green. Well, a lot of that stuff is it's unfamiliar to people because I mean there's heat pumps in the area, but a lot of people aren't familiar with heat pumps. So I mean, if we can go through and bring some of those newer products in, we have some young kids in here learning the new product because I mean, new furnaces they Bluetooth your phone. I mean, you take an old bird that's been out of the field for 10 years, you got to tell him he's got to go start up a new furnace or like a heat pump water heater. He's got to use his phone and Bluetooth it to set it up. He's going to look at you like you're crazy. But I mean, that's the direction that the industry's going. And a lot of other industries are going that direction as well. So you have to adapt to survive.
How much time do you have to spend to learn about all the new tech that's coming out? Because your industry is the same as any other. That just about the time that you get used to something and get a little muscle memory with it, technology's advanced and the next things come along.
It just depends. Some of it's code requirement, some of it's application. So, I mean, it depends what you are. I mean, some of the changes that they have are so specific to, um, they're so specific to certain facets of the trade. I mean, you'd only use it in one particular application. So, it's not practical. You're not using it all the time. I mean, that's where you just kind of have to look and pick and choose because all the new products that are coming out there, I mean, I get 10 to 20 sales calls a week of some salesman from X, Y, and Z distributor trying to sell me the latest and greatest gizmo or gadget or tool to go through and do the job and do it better. I mean, some of them you go through and look at it, and some of it's like, well, is this good or is it snake oil? I mean, what do you go through and do with it? And that's the problem is there's so many tools and parts and components and everything else. I mean, one of our distributors, their catalog for just HVAC and plumbing parts is 6,000 pages.
Wow.
You could tell me that there's 6,000 uh, parts that you can go through and list off, and they don't even have everything. That's just what they carry as a distributor. So, I mean, you go through and look at some of these other distributors that they have 10, 20, 30,000 items in their catalog that they go through and carry. There's specific applications where you can go through and use new products that come in, but it's got to be specific for what you're going through and using. A lot of stuff people haven't really reinvented the wheel as far as some of that. Like one of the ones that's changed over the last couple of years that we use a bunch is the Mega Press on there for the rigid gas line. I mean, that is definitely a game changer of a product that's came out. Um, I mean, CSST when it first came out, yeah, but I still like the way the rigid black iron looks when you're doing a gas line. So I mean, where you can just press it on there like a standard press fitting if you're pressing on the copper. It's a neat little invention that they came out with here a couple years ago.
It sounds like a big part of deciding whether or not to look at something is, will this save time for you? Will it be more efficient for you? And probably, what is the difference from this to how we are doing it right now? And as you said, with all of the sales calls you get, it's cutting through that noise has got to be tough.
Yeah, no, it's always interesting when you go through and look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, time's money. If you save time, you save money, but at what cost? Because if the material, the product they're trying to sell you costs twice as much time and everything else, I mean, or twice as much money as what it costs for time. You got your pros and cons for if it's going to work or not. That's why we tried out the Mega Press for a bit before we used it, and we tried out the Pro Press and stuff before we used that, and we were skeptical about both of them, and now we use them as a regular practice. I mean, they got refrigeration press fittings now to go through to relieve using oxygen and acetylene for going through and brazing. I mean, there's press fittings for those now. I mean, I don't know. The industry's evolving so much. I mean, what we see in the industry now today, versus how it'll look 5 years from now. I don't think you'll have any more cubed air conditioners that are new coming out. I think they're all going to be side discharge. Even like the regular water heaters, I think they're going to either end up going more towards a power vent or a tankless option for gas, or a hybrid electric is what I think that they'll end up going to, just to improve the efficiency standards. I mean, they've tried to go through and do it for years, but now they're actually starting to go through and put tax incentives on it. Whether if you get a tankless water heater or a heat pump water heater, the federal government's giving you money, or your utility providers giving you money back in order to get those incentives. So it it's coming to the point where as those incentives increase over time and you start to see more efficiency coming from these products, you'll probably start seeing a lot more people transitioning from like a standard tanked water heater to one that's more efficient.
Before we wrap up today, Hayden, tell me about if you were talking to a young person and encouraging them to give the trades some consideration as an option for what they may want to do moving out of high school and going on to the next step of their life. Obviously, it's worked out well for you. So what does that conversation look like to you? To let them know that, hey, you've got some options here.
What I always tell people is at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you, but you don't need to go to college to go through and make it and waste much money. I mean, we've got a couple kids that work for us that they go to some different trade schools on there, and I mean, some of them have their place, some of them are all right, some of them are subpar in my opinion. And if you're paying for a subpar education, you're learning more hands-on in the field. Why are you paying for an education? And if you're willing and able to go through and work hard and get a little bit dirty, it's not always going to be fun. I mean, you can make a lot of money, especially with the amount of trades. You go look at any labor and statistics bureau here in the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, how many people are retiring versus people are coming in? Will it correct itself? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it'll get back to the number of skilled trades it was 20 years ago. So in turn, I mean, it's just sheer volume versus what's there. I mean, you're going to go through and make a hell of a lot more money. It'll probably take 10 years to go through and do it, but at that point, you've already got experience, some skin in the game. You're not just starting out when the numbers are going to hit big, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. Looking forward, Hayden, to learning more about some plumbing tips in future episodes, and as we get you more involved with Circle of Trades here. And I'm thrilled that you're seeing the success so far. And also, I know you got a lot of hard work ahead of you, but you come by it honest, and you can see where you're already achieving that success. We can see it. So well done. And I'm looking forward to seeing you back on here again.
Yep, that works. We'll talk to you soon.